Hello everyone, my name is DIXIT and this is my channel Pentest Diaries. So today I'll give you a walkthrough of one of the retired machine of HackTheBox. The name of the machine is Phoenix. This is a hard machine and couple of concepts is utilizing over here to get it solve this machine. And there's one of the thing which is over here. It's a two-factor authentication, which a lot of time I have spent it just to get it bypass that, but unfortunately there is a trick which we are using it just to get it done with that. So that's I'll try to get it covered in this video. So let me go to the system now and I'll let you know how to solve this machine. So before proceeding further in this video, so first of all I'd like to show you, this is my technical blog where you can get all the write-ups which I'll publish it so far. Okay, here are the categories for subsections for it, and these are the write-ups I published it so far. And this is my technical channel where you can get all the video format walkthrough. You can see it, you can visit all those sections for it. So I have published a lot so far. Now we'll go to the machine. So today we are solving the machine. It's called it as Phoenix. Okay, and this is a hard machine and it's a retired machine of HackTheBox. So let me start with the first command which you always use as nmap-a, and I know the IP address of the target machine is 10.10.11.149. Let me trigger it and wait for the output. So now we can see the output over here. So as I can see, port 22 is enabled, port 80 is enabled, and 443 is enabled. Okay, and other than that, you can see this the host entry. So this thing you have to do it on your host file itself. So I'll show you that also. Okay, so you can see the host entry over here. So this you have to do it. Once you're done with that, we simply have to go to the browser and try to access Phoenix. Okay, perfect. So let me try to get it access it so I can able to see this website. Okay, nothing, I can see it over here. Let me click on the details. Once we click on details, it looks like the page is not published yet. Okay, but there is a section of blogs. We'll just go to the blog now, and now we can see sign up, login, and forums. It's look like a WordPress. Okay, let me click on the forums, and I can see forums members over here. Okay, list of members, I can see it over here. And activities, login, register, everything we can see it over here. Okay, so now as it's look like a WordPress, so it's better for us to run with WP scan so that we can figure out couple of stuff related to that on what exactly the best thing we can get it out of it. So we'll just run this just to get it, enumerate the target and get the output accordingly. Okay, we'll just wait for the output. So here itself I can able to see the output. Okay, so couple of things I can see over here. Okay, so this one is one of the thing which we are looking for it, and nothing much I can see it over here. User, we already aware about it, so we'll just consider this version. And I just find it this version looks like a vulnerable one. So that was the reason. What's my next approach for it? So before proceeding further, I'll just show you that on the basis of what I just feel like it's look like a vulnerable one. So let me open it on a browser. So this is the URL of WP scan. I can get it, and you can able to see this. Okay. So what we have to use? We have to use same URL but the customized one as per our need. So let me trigger one of the command for you, and I'll just let you know what exactly the mean of that command. Let me clear this. Let me trigger this command. So over here you can see that we are using a straightforward same URL, just a host name we are replacing it, and that's just straightforward command. Risk and the label according to our need, as we have used level 3 and level risk 3, and batch we don't want to click on yes again and again. That was the reason I'm using -- batch. Let me trigger it and I'll wait for the output, and I can get it very easily. So I think it's look like a database is a MySQL database over there on a target. Okay, so now what's the next step for it? The next step is we just have to figure out the name of the databases. So let me trigger this command. I'll explain you that also. Once we trigger that, we can get the database names also. So I'll just let you know, like, this is a URL straightforward, layer disk and everything. Now we are aware about the type of database. So that was the thing we have mentioned, the database, and now we are looking for to fetch out the name of the database. That was the reason we are using --dbs. Now once we're done with that, we can get two names of the database, and we just consider about the WordPress. Okay, now using that database name, what exactly the type of tables we can able to fetch it out? I think I can able to get it a bit faster. Let me see. Yeah, I can able to, as I did it earlier, so that was the reason it's not giving me a lot of time. It's not taking a lot of time for me to fetch it out once again. Okay, so by this way I can able to get the detail about all the things which we are looking for it, and my main concern is WP users first. Okay, so that was one of the concern point. I'll just proceed further with that table and looking for the columns of it. Let me clear it once again and let me trigger it. Once we trigger with that, I'm getting error. I'm getting the error. It's CVS database. Okay, hyphen dump. Let me try hyphen dumps. Now I'm getting error. Let me pause it for a minute. So instead of using dumps, we just have to use the straightforward hyphen column. I'm using it. By that way I can get the result a bit faster. Okay, so you just have to use this command. So let me modify my notes also. Okay, so perfect. We are getting these are the subfields, I can say that, inside of the table itself. So we just, what type of things we are looking for it, we can fetch it out, those things. So over here I'll just fire this command to fetch out the appropriate result which I'm looking for it. And let me clear it once. Let me trigger this command. I think I do not require the terms, but let me try with that first. If it's not working, then we'll proceed further with something else. Okay, so you can see like I'm using two fields, user underscore login and user underscore pass. So that was another thing, you have to use it, and rest all the steps are the same. Let me trigger it. If it's not working, then we'll just go with a dumb one. I think it's already fetched it out all the things, so it will not take much time for us. So finally in the result, you can get the hashes of admin, John, Phoenix, Jane, Siger, Spider, J Smith. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll just simply copy all these hashes in one of the file. I'll put it already. Now what we have to do, we simply run with a John just to crack it, and we can get the appropriate password out of it. So let me trigger it with this command. We are using John the Ripper, and we'll trigger it. I think it will done it in a minute for us. If it's not, then I'll show you that. I think it will work in a minute. So as it's taking a lot of time, so I think it's better for us to, better for me, I'll just have to let you know. So this is the thing which we are getting it out of it. Okay, I'm not wasting my time to wait to crack it. I think by the end of this video, if it's completed, I'll show you that. Let me proceed further with that. So what else we can do it over here? So I just came to know about it, like as arbitrary file upload vulnerability is also present over here itself for the WordPress. So I'll try with that only. So this is the URL which you have to use it, and you can download this file directly on your system. Okay, you can download this directly. So in my case, I have already downloaded it, so there is no need for me to download once again. I'll just proceed further with that. I'll just proceed further with that requirement, and I'll not wasting my time for it. So this is the file which we are going to use. I think it's py. This is the file which we are using it. I've already copied on my base machine. Now what are the requirements for it? So there is one of the file which we required it over here. It's html. So this format is required with this file. So what actually happening when we trigger that Python exploit, then automatically there is a file from our base machine is get it uploaded to the appropriate directory which we have mentioned already in the script. And that format of the file which is going to be get it uploaded is html. So this is the content. I'll put it from my side. it's a straightforward one-liner content. I'll put it from my side. Okay, and now what we will do, we'll just trigger that command exploit py, and having this file to be in the sync. Okay, what will happen, it will automatically get it upload the file. Okay, so it's uploaded and target's not vulnerable. Give me a minute. What happened? So I struggled a lot. I have resetted the machine finally, and now it's working. So we simply have to fire the same command and we can get the output in such a way. Okay, what we'll do now, we'll just go to the other terminal. I have started the listener already on port 1234. Okay, and what I'll do, I'll just trigger this. Okay, so what exactly I'm doing it in this, I'll just use the same URL, whatever the URL we're getting it over here. I'll just use the same URL. Along with that, in the command section, these are the things I'm just passing it just to get the one-liner, just to get the reverse shell out of it. Okay, so let me trigger it. Once I trigger it, I'm getting the shell over here, and you can see the shell. Okay, so this is the shell, we are getting it over here. And what next we have to do it? So the next thing, what we can do, we'll simply have to run the pwd and just see that what is the type of thing we can see it over here. So it's in SRV section, www WordPress, and wp-admin section. Okay, so that's one other thing. What else we can do it over here? So let me run an lslrt and let me see like what are the things inside of this folder. Something like an interesting one. Let me go out. And let me see that. Okay, so I can see the conf file also over here. I think it's config file also, it's over here. Okay, you can see that also. Okay, so let me open that file. So wp-config.php, and let me open it. Once we open it, we can able to see the credential over here. Normally we can get the credential in all the cases once we are opening the content of this file, so we can able to see the content, and this is the credential, I can say that, which we will supposed to use it in some time. Let me paste it in my notes also. The password I have not saved it. Okay, so this is the credential, we are getting it. And now what we have to do, we'll simply go to the MySQL now, just to use the same credential to get it access. So before proceeding further with that, as whatever shell we are getting, it's not allow us to proceed further for the MySQL directly, as we can prompt for it, but it's not appropriately allow us to get the access appropriately. So that was the reason I'm running this one-liner command. By this way, it's started the file of dev null. Okay, now what we'll do, we'll just run the MySQL and let me paste it. Okay, it's showing me access denied. Why it is? Okay, let me see that once again. So it's a mistake in my -1. Okay, so it's a bigger one and a small one, we have to use it. That's a problem. Okay, once we correct that, and I can able to get it logged inside of the MySQL. Now what exactly, the first thing which I just want to see are databases. So let me see the databases first. So we have two databases. So one, we have to use WordPress. We have to use a WordPress, and it change it to the WordPress. Now just to fetch out the content of it, we'll just run this. I'll let you know why we are go to the SQL one and what actually we're trying to get it achieve. So when we're trying to switch over to another user, like normally this is WP user, and for getting an initial flag also we require the editor rights. And the bigger challenge when we're trying to switch over, we are unable to do that. Even we have the credential with us, whatever using the SQL, whatever the credential we're getting, we'll try to use that, but it's not allow us. Unfortunately, it's a two-factor authentication which is implemented over here, so that's a bigger challenge for us to get that out of it. So that was the reason. We'll just proceed further with that. I'm making one of the script on my base machine, Let me show that to you. It's pph.php, I think. What the name of, okay, sorry, it's cat.epp.php. okay, so this is the script. It's a handy script. I'm getting it from internet. I'm using that directly. So in this couple of things, like as per the need, I have just customized it. So this is the content which we are getting it out of here itself. You can simply have to paste it over here. Okay, and this one is whatever the next command is, just give it to us. Okay, we'll just put it that entry, and let me trigger it now. So we'll just get one stuff out of it. Okay, we'll just get this, but unfortunately, as even using that, even we'll try to modify the conf file of two-factor authentication just to bypass that, but we are not successfully done with that. So that's the reason I just look for some other solution for it. So I just came to know about this URL. Let me show you that. Okay, so I just came to know about this URL itself. Okay, this one is also. So now what I'll do, I'll just try to see the config file of this access local. Oh, sorry, I want to see it on my shell itself. Let me go to the shell. Yeah, get on the shell, quit. Single boot. No, it will not allow. It will not allow. What happened? What happened to my shell? That's not allowing me. Okay, let me go get the shell once again. I think looks like some problem is there on my shell. That was the reason. No, I think my machine is restarted or what? It should be pingable. Let me try to ping it and see whether the machine is up or not. Oh no, it looks like it's down. Let me check the status first. So now it's working fine for me, and what I'll do, I'll simply trying to access this one. Like, so till yet we have not switched it over to the editor role. Editor is the username, it's not a role only. So let me try to get it access, and I just came to know about this IP address. So we can't access this IP address directly from our local machine. That was the reason. We'll just proceed further with this IP address from the same user we're trying to SSH to that IP address. Okay, so that was around the time I did it from my side for the editor, and I'm using the same credential which I have cracked it with John. Let me try to get that. I think what I have to do, we just require WP user rights. Okay, mission. Okay, so I think we have to run that command script once again. Let me trigger it once again. Okay, this command we required it once again to be get it triggered, then only we'll just take the SSH. Okay, it's work. Now we'll go for SSH editor, copy and paste it. So now it's asking for the password. I have the password with me. Let me copy that password. Yeah, this is the password. So I'll type yes and I'll put the password. So by this way, there is nothing like a two-factor authentication ask anywhere. Okay, so now we are in an editor section. I think I'll be already in an editor folder. Perfect. So let me try to access user.txt, and I can able to see the content of user.txt. That's one of the thing. Now what we have to do to like escalate our privileges from here to the privilege one. So what exactly we have to do it? So what I'll do, I'll simply run this command from my side just to know, like, with this permission what are the files is getting integrated with that. So this is the one. Okay, just to know more thing about it, I think I'll just close this, no need of it, and let me run this one once again. I hope this will work. No, I will trigger it once again and I will get the shell. Okay, this one is one of the thing which I'm looking for it. Like what we have to do, over here what I'm looking for actually, when I'm triggering that file, that x.sh, then automatically some type of sessions will be getting generated, processes is getting generated. So those things we are tracking on this. So that was the reason. Another session I'm just opening so that I can able to show you that what exactly we are doing it. Okay, so let me trigger that command once again. Let me trigger it. Okay, it's ncat. It's a code. It's MySQL one. I'm looking for it. I think it's MySQL, near to the MySQL one. Perfect. Yeah, this command. I think it's better for me to note it down. This command, it's better. Otherwise, every time I'm searching for the same command again and again. Yeah, this one. So let me copy this command and paste it on my notepad. So now we'll trigger that this command, and what I'll do, I'll run with the SSH once again, and with the SSH we'll try to get it login with that user. Okay, so I'm not having the credential with me, so that was the reason. It's better for me to go to that section once again. Perfect. So I'll be over here. I'll paste this command directly. So we are just making a replicate session of once again of that one. Okay, I'll put the password. I'll go to the temp folder. Oh, sorry. We are already in the temp folder. Let me see. I'm not having any file. Let me run this. Okay, it will not work. So 8002. Okay. Now I will try to fetch out that file. It's 10.10.111402:pspy64s. That's it. It will done. Okay, let me see that file also. I can able to see, and chmod plus x pspy64s done. Let me trigger it. pspy64s, trigger it. Now what is the next step for it? We'll just go to this section, okay, and I'll try to trigger this command. Okay, so now we'll simply trigger this command just to see the traffic on the another one. Okay, so trigger it. I think I have to go to the section user.local/bin. Okay, and once I'll go inside of it, I'll fire the command of this sys.x. Okay, now right now we don't have any appropriate hit over here. Okay, once I'll trigger with that, I'll get a couple of stuffs over here. Let me trigger it. Once I'll trigger with that, I can able to see a lot of things over here. Okay, so you can able to see rsync, which we are exactly be looking for it. Rsync ignoring. I can able to see the tar files. Like it's basically like using this, it's automatically our backup file is getting created. So it's all about that only. Okay. So now there are two URLs which we just show you that. So this is the first URL and this is the another URL. So what exactly is happening, I'll just explain you. Like there is a backup folder which is present over here. Once you go inside of the backup folder, it will take a time to get it destroyed. So once that that's coming out of it. So it's automatically, there is a backup folder. Inside of the backup folder you can create one of the file, and that file is automatically get triggered. Like whenever it's taking a backup, it's automatically after every 3 minutes is get triggered. Once that files get triggered, we already starting a listener at one of the end on the terminal, and we just wait for 3 minutes, automatically get triggered, and we'll get the shell. It's a root shell, we can get it, and you can get the root flag also. So we just wait for a few minutes to get a terminal, otherwise I have to make it a session once again. So before proceeding further in this section, I'll just run it's443. This is a listener for when we're getting the root shell. So that was one of the thing. Let me go to my shell. Okay, over here we'll go to the backup folder. So it's better for me to go out of it and backups. I'm inside of the backup folder right now. Okay, so you can see the couple of backups. It's automatically created after every 3 minutes. Get triggered. Cron job is get triggered using the rsync. So we'll just fire this command, creating one of the file test.sh. Inside of it we'll just giving one liner script from our side. Let me create it. I think it's created, and we'll just see this file. It's already created. We'll just wait for the output. We'll get the shell in 3 minutes. So waiting for 3 minutes, we can get the shell. Once we get the shell, we'll go to the root folder, and I can able to see root.txt file. So this is the content of root.txt file. It's a final flag. So I'll give you a summary once again of the complete machine once again. So we'll start with the nmap. We'll just came to know like port 22, port 80 and 443 is enabled over there itself. We'll just get that host name also. We'll put the host entry. We'll go to the browser, going vertically in multiple sections for it. Horizontally we'll just going further with that, and we just came to know about it like it looks like a WordPress. We just came to know with after running the WP scan, we came to know about it like the version of it. It's like a one level version. We'll go for the SQL map directly as it's a one level version for unvalidated one injection. So we'll just try with that, and SQL injection is working fine over there. We'll run with the SQL map. We'll get that hashes out of it, and using that hashes we'll proceed further from our side. Then after that there is a file upload functionality is also one other thing which I can say that it looks like a one level one. We'll try to upload a file, using that to get it triggered. We get the reverse shell out of it. It's a WP user shell we are getting it. We'll proceed further in that section horizontally. We'll just proceed further with that itself, just to proceed further for the editor role. We came to know about there is an editor user and the Phoenix user is over there itself, but just to get the user flag, editor user is one of the user which we required the access for it. So we just proceed further. WP config, we came to know about a couple of things about it. Using accessing it, we get the credential. Using the MySQL, we are using the same credentials just to get it login. We get couple of data inside of it. We have the credential with us, but unfortunately we can't go ahead further with that as it's protected with a two-factor authentication, and we require that to be get it configured on our phone or something like that. So I try to get it modify the config file, but unfortunately it's not working. But there is one of the config file which I just have seen it. I have seen the IP address, and when we're trying to approach it instead of the system itself, we're trying to get it approach for that IP address with the target machine itself. Then in that case we can get it login with the same user for what we are approaching for it. We can get it inside of it, and this time there is no two-factor authentication is working for us, as it's taking as a legitimate request from a system itself. So then we'll get the edit access. We can able to see the user flag. Then we'll take it forward with that label itself, and we feel like what permissions this user is having it, and how to proceed further with that. So using the permission of the current user, we came to know about there is a cron.sh.x file is present. Just to know what exactly this file is doing it, we have run the pspy in one of the another separate shell. I have created like build it from my side, and then I'll trigger that file, and just came to know about there a couple of things, and there's a rsync. What exactly is happening? It's automatically taking a backup after every 3 minutes, and whatever the file is present inside of the backup folder, it's automatically allow us to get a trigger it. So we'll just add one of the listener, and we put it one liner content inside of that backup folder, creating one file .test.sh, and we'll trigger it and wait for the 3 minutes. Once after 3 minutes it's taking a backup of it, it's automatically get triggered and we get the reverse shell out of it, and it's a root writes. Then we'll go to the root folder, root.txt content, we can able to read it. So these are the only stuff we just want to get it covered in this video. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this video, please subscribe my channel. If you like to provide the comment, you can comment in the comment section of this video. If you like to connect me, you can connect me directly on LinkedIn. The LinkedIn profile link I'll provide in the description section of this video. Thank you so much once again. Take care. Bye bye.